Hi guys, welcome back to Start World Government. Sorry it took me so long to make another video. I don't know how long it will be to the next one, if there will be a next one, just to let you know. It's very hard to come up with ideas for more creation when I've done most of what I said. Like, I've given out all my ideas and what I think it should be, so I don't really know how much more to add on to that. But just for some news, I have a new Wix website out with my blog. I have a shop for supporting advocating world government. I have a book out as well called World Government Manifesto. As I call it manifesto because, the Communist Manifesto. And we love manifestos, don't we? And so, basically in this video though, I just want to talk about what people will do for fun, like how they live in the society, because I've talked about how it goes from children to adults, how the society functions. But like in this society, it's a very pleasure society we live in. We have TV, movie, musicals, and it is mostly based off capitalist lens and our way of life. One thing I wanted to mention, and if you follow my TikTok, I posted a video about it recently, that movies, TV shows, video games, a lot of it influences our behavior in life, especially as children. It's what we learn from. And I think, and it has been shown in psychology through kids, and I guess it can be applied to adults too. When you watch something aggressive, you're going to feel more aggressive. Like some people play video games for catharsis, but you're playing a violent video game, you're still gonna get more aggressive. And of course, if you've heard of the famous Bobo doll experience, monkey see, monkey do, where children saw an adult, like they didn't show any facial expressions, they just beat up a Bobo doll. And then the kids went and did it, and they did the same thing. But what's funny with children is, and one of my teachers did it with their kid, the kid does the same thing. They look back at you to make sure, is this okay what I'm doing? Because somehow, like, they do know from TV and stuff, you're not supposed to hit people. And aggression is wrong. As kids, that's what we learn. As adults, we kind of lose that. But generally, these kids look to make sure what they're doing is right. But what was funny, and they didn't expect not ironic, really, and kind of sad in a sense, is that the kids, they had play guns. The kids started shooting the bubble doll. Like, they started using different objects. Like, the kids were even worse than the adult doing it. The adult just punched the bubble doll. And of course, the kids, they're having fun, they're enjoying it. So it's kind of like wow, that's not good. Of course, I don't know what happened as children. They're probably fine. Because generally, that's what we do as kids. But I think also a problem, because like, kids are so bratty nowadays. Like, if you look at what kids watch, like kids TikTok, kids YouTube, TV is so bratty nowadays. Like, as a kid, it was getting that way as I got older, but it was generally educational, informative, trying to teach us lessons about life. And nowadays, it's just about pulling pranks and being like bad children, not playing by the rules. And I think this whole concept, like, I support childhood autonomy, and children know who they are, and children have a sense of what they like and dislike. Now, of course, when they go, I don't like this when they've never done it, and I do think we need to push children and have them, because what we're doing now, like, be free, be autonomous, that's not how society works. And I predict it's gonna be horrible as those kids get older, because we are fit with expectations as children, going to school, getting good marks, at home chores, and then in life you work, you get a job, and you put under all these strict rules and regulations. and a strict set. Now, not everyone follows this, but that's generally how it's supposed to be. And if these kids are told, be you and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, that's going to be pretty difficult. And I really hope that maybe even the kids themselves, because I was a kid, I know, I was bratty, I realized that, and I try and better myself. Even though today, I can be sometimes a bit much, I know that, and I try and work on it. And it's what I hope these kids will realize that. If not, the world's going to become a much worse place. And of course, when I talk about world government, I talk about it as it's the end result, kind of what I envision it to be. Now, of course, I say, like many, like the American government, the Canadian government, certain groups, like if you know my TikTok or blogs, I talk about all of them. They're stuck in the past. They don't revise their concepts ever. And basically, I hope that the government won't be that. Because, like what I've just said, all those people, those ideas were made years ago before they had any of the knowledge we know now. We need to revise them and put them up to modern standards. What life was like back then is not the same as now. And I think what I want to come from that, I don't want to have a stagnant society. I want a society that might go, this was a great idea, and I understand where she was coming from, but we should probably do this instead. And of course I want it to be democratic. So if people don't agree with some of the things and the majority don't agree, then obviously they don't have to do it. I'm just expressing my beliefs, but my values, my opinions, and hoping others might see the same and hopefully enact on it and what I think the world should look like. But we all have different views. Philosophy, political science, there's so many different series, so many different viewpoints, so many angles to approach things. Now, I don't agree with all of them. I don't agree with most of them, actually. But I do understand where they're coming from. And I think the problem in this society is, like, I've realized when I try and debate with people, they don't understand that you can understand something without accepting it. Or you can, because sometimes people, they just look at the bad things someone has done or bad things a country does, but they don't look at the historical background of it, why these people are doing this, why they might think that way. And I think it's really important. And that's why I want to talk about that. Like, even if I can't get a world government, I want people to think about it. To go, like, literally, all I want is for people, like, literally, that's all I said. All I want is for people to be safe and secure and have basic rights and needs. That's literally all I want. And this is what I think is how it should happen. But of course, it might be a different way. But again, I get off point a lot. But I just want to say how the society will amuse itself. So I think if any TV dramas, it should be, especially for children, it should be educational, trying to teach a certain way or upholding the society's values and beliefs. And I think as adults, like, maybe reality shows are mostly for money, so in a non-capitalist system it would be weird. But I do think we could have some of those, depending on what people think. I'm not that artistic. We could have movies, TV shows, but I have said I want a more enlightened culture. A lot of things now is comedy. Of course, comedy is good and all, but it's for the basic man. Like, comedy isn't... there has been intellectual comedy, but I'm saying mostly it's not. And it's mostly TV and movies. The most popular are for people like this average Joes, as they say. I want a more intellectual thinking. Like, I love sci-fi because it makes me think. And I think that's what I want the world to be like. But of course, what I've said is I want this to be a hard-working society. And of course, what I say, a lot of jobs, people, they love TV because it's an escape from the horrible life. They have a job they don't like, but they're just trying to get by. But in this society, people should be living their dream, and they do a job because they like it, not because they're forced to. and they do something that they really enjoy. And so I hope that people will be happier in that society, and we maybe not need all this entertainment because people are happy in what they do and they're pursuing it as hard as they can. And of course I said scheduled, like it would be a very scheduled society, like exercise, meditation, sleep times, to make sure it's a very ordered, safe, secure society. And what's best for everybody, like eating times, what they eat, to make sure everyone's as healthy as they can be. But I do think also people love doing hobbies, some things that they're interested in, but it's not their main passion. It's like art, dance, maybe their main thing is agriculture, but they love to dabble in politics, or they like debating. So I think certain things like groups, activities, because what I also say is because of our individualistic society, we're becoming closed off. And if you look at the World Happiness Index, so many so-called first world countries with the global north, it's like everyone's on antidepressants, anxiety, and it's nowhere in this society people have been so depressed, because even if they're having a horrible life, they had a community, a family to fall back on, and I think we've lost that. So it's why I really want that society to be focused on the community. And so yeah, I hope I make another video soon. If not, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to come up with ideas. If you want, you can email me or reply on my blog, maybe some suggestions. I don't know. But I hope you guys have been listening from the beginning, and if you're new, please check out my other videos. And I hope this at least makes you think about some things that you generally don't think about.